I'm just going to talk about pretty obvious things, but I feel they're good reminders, as is everything. If you really think about it, it can be pretty obvious, and if it's not, then perhaps there isn't an answer. On to the topic at hand. Welcome. It is about the openness to welcome, and it can be, in fact, quite good to be aware of the time it takes, due to some people, or actually quite a few people, actually pretty much everyone, always perceiving and judging, and I don't mean in the judgmental sense, but in the analytical sense, that everything you see, you're always analyzing, and we always refer a meaning to what we see, whether that be symbols, signs, expressions, micro expressions, everything we refer meaning, whether we're conscious of it or not. And consciousness is the first step to changing, really, becoming aware, recognizing it in order to acknowledge, accept, and then begin the change. But I'll give you an example of the welcoming I mentioned. It's to instantly be open, because we're so caught in our lives, in our own world, and rightly so. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but oftentimes we don't even realize we're doing that. So there's just a lot to wake ourselves into. But oftentimes we'll be sort of in this gloomy face, and we don't realize it, but there are creases forming, we look agitated, but in fact we're just lost in this maze of a thought. Why can't we I do it as well, but I wish I could do so, think with time, and in a manner that we know of, that is in control, because the agitation comes from us trying so hard to grasp it, but we can't, and this misunderstood or lack of understanding creates this agitation. But in fact, if we just observe the situation at hand and don't try to comprehend it so much, maybe it'll just flow into us, the meaning. And perhaps it's not the meaning that's being said, but it's the meaning we needed to hear, or the meaning that has meaning to us. Because not everything that's taught is the same. One teaching can have different meanings to everyone, and that's the beauty of it, that there's no one true answer except the answer you define as truth for yourself, because we're all really different and we need different things. We've come from different backgrounds. It only makes sense. So yeah, just to not get caught in thought and realize, we're here together, show each other care, love, kindness, welcome. Welcoming is a big one. To feel welcomed, to feel like you're invited, you're able to stay, you're loved, and you're cared for, and you're here. You can be here, and the greatest teacher is action. To show people kindness is the best way to teach kindness, not just to tell them be kind. I mean that too, but feeling the kindness of someone else. It's like, wow, that feels amazing. I want to give that to someone else. Seeing it happen, it's a weight being lifted. It's a blessing occurring in front of your eyes, and what a gift it is to experience such a phenomenon, because it's magical, really. We don't appreciate it, but these simple things are really everything. Love's in the details, and when you start noticing and feeling and be open to these things that we often dismiss because we're so caught in whatnots. We feel the life in its simplest forms, and we've realized we don't need much else. Now, saying this, not to say that you know, because sometimes work can be difficult, and this is only one mindset. It's not over-encompassing, just like everything. We have to have flexibility and a toolkit of philosophies in order to tackle life in all angles. It's a multi-dimensional occurrence that we can't have one answer for. And when we do, we actually neglect much of life, because there is more to it than what one answer can give. So, yeah, just the flexibility to be many things, because we are many things. We're not just one person. We're changing with every second, every day, and to be open to that actually frees you from the shackles of your past. Because a lot of times we can feel pressured to be someone because we were someone, and people expect us to be someone, but in fact there are no expectations. Truly, I mean, there's a lot of instability in that, sure, and society isn't used to it because we want something we know, and it's scary to experience something new, something different. Just like the same way a mother lets go of a child, she doesn't know what's going to happen, she doesn't have control, she loses sense of understanding of self, of who she is, of her identity and those around her, which forms hers. So be open to change, because there is no one answer. That's all right. All right, all the best on our journey, and may we find hope and enjoyment in our actions. All the best.